Hello everyone, I'm GoldenHawk, founder of House of Life, 24th degree High Priestess, and creator of the Ancient Powers activations and programs. I'm here today to discuss a piece that I put up um, earlier in the week on genetics and DNA, and it's a very, very interesting piece. Hello, Grace, Terry. Very interesting piece because sorcery and shamanism has always come from the point of these particular genetic effects and has been doing DNA work or light sound work in therapy for thousands and thousands of years. And collectively, massively, anciently, the earth went through a cataclysm that affected all of us on the planet. It affected the planet itself. And through this, we have a great deal of very, very deep fears. Hi, Shelby. Oh, goodness. Okay, anyway, we have a great many fears that we don't even have any idea where they come from. And beyond that, at this point, we are moving into the photon belt, which is actually opening up and awakening these fears as they're beginning to pass through. So there's a whole lot of anxiety, a lot of panic, real deep fears and phobias that we don't know where they're coming from. And along with that, we also have a great deal of societal repression problems, and most people seem to overlook the problem that happened in Europe for over 1,500 years, where those who came from the tribal structures there were hunted down and killed. And during about a 400 to 500 year period, there were over 9 million women and children, mainly, that were killed during what was called the witch hunts by the Catholic Church, and then later the Protestant Church, and then followed over here into the New World as we fled. And there's a great deal of fear that goes around that. And that's coming up also, really rising up in us as our powers are unlocked, our abilities are unlocked further and further by moving into the photon belt. This photonic energy is moving from Sirius, from Alcyon, through the sun, and even though we're not actually energetically connected to the sun, we do receive, of course, solar light. The energetic cord was majorly damaged, if not broken, during the cataclysm, with the Earth being 23.5 degrees off its inner poles that align with the sun and the rest of the planets in our system. And so a great deal of us are getting a certain amount of the downloads. We're getting a great deal of energy. A lot of people don't know what to do with it. Yes, it does. Hi, Terry. It does explain what's going on with a lot of the nightmares. The central core of the planet was not shifted or moved, but the memory from the cataclysm is deep in the earth, and millions and millions and millions of beings, probably billions of beings on this planet, died in very horrendous ways. And survival, we're lucky that anyone or anything actually did survive the cataclysm. And we lived in darkness for a very long time. Survival energy was extremely high. Power over others was very, very intense. And these memories, when we are at a delta level while we're sleeping, rise up from the core when we're in the delta level in the brain, the delta frequency. And it does actually cause nightmares, and a lot of other memories rise up through that level and seep into the subconscious, and it causes shifts. So as we're going through the photon changes and the changes from the solar flares, as well as the check the human resonance charts. I put them up fairly often. We get into the higher gamma, the delta is brought up higher and moved through us because we are capable of running at a gamma level, and it's awakening. Now, previous to the Cataclysm, there was a portion of humanity that was very, very well educated and living at a very high level. They were helping to civilize the rest of the world, and they did take a great deal of people underground for them to survive at the time of coming up from the underground. And you can find information on GoldenHawk and several other places, Göbekli Tepe, all of that. But one of the main places was Egypt, which was the center of Pangaea before the Cataclysm, and now it's sitting a little closer to Jerusalem. But the Broken Chord, it's the basic navel connect, or the umbilicus for the sun in Egypt. And these teachings were brought back, and the connective pieces, the information to create what they called the straightened jet, which Pharaoh, the house of light, the house of life, the column between heaven and earth, the stairway to heaven, Pharaoh, and those high initiates who were brought through the teachings actually held a straight connection cord to the sun for us, and kept their civilization and the tribal civilizations they were in contact with around the earth in connection. When the Sumerians came in and Egypt was pantheonized and came under the control of their own netters as false creator gods, they closed down, shut down, and sealed the abilities of many of their lineages. And this happened all across the globe with the tribal cultures. Very few people were left unsealed, and these seals were put in through sound and light with the netters, and our gifts are much less than they would have been, and we have no instruction in how to use them, and it is causing a great deal of problems. Shamanism and the light workers at this point have really helped a lot to expand things in the field that we were left in, what was once called the veil or the astral plane, around our planet. But it has closed the system, the quantum system, and does not allow us to create our own reality. We are intercreating due to the fears, due to the damage, and now the damage of power and control over has crossed from continent to continent to continent, finally through the Americas. And we're all barely surviving as we're waking up. And it's a time right now where we are coming into this awakening without any structure and no way to take the seals off. That's what my activations are all about. And I actually have several graduates that are on here, and then on my other group page, but which is about unsealing the symbols. They're actually symbol. It's a sound and light symbol that's found inside, and opening them up and reconnecting us to Father Son in the fifth dimension, and the deep core of Mother Earth, which we do not connect with because our holographic chakras are not opened. And once that happens, our center actually becomes the 50 heart chakra. Right now we're running off the 40 heart chakra and connected directly in to this whole astral area that we no longer want to be a part of. And we're watching the old institutions really fall. A lot of the politics worldwide is having massive, massive problems, and there are people I know that are actually, rising up against this, and we feel like we're in a state of war and we have to become warriors. The piece is that we cannot become warriors. If we rise up against them, we are part of them, and we are feeding them, and we will fall back continuously into the same, hello Sandy, into the same patterns of karma that they've actually set out for us and for our generations. So it's very, very important that we don't step into the warrior piece. If we stepped into it, as Chief Joseph said, I shall fight no more, we need to shift. And I'd love to be able to work with any of you that wanted to join me and get the same results my clients get. And you can PM me if you'd like to do that. It would be great. But you really need to be able to start creating your own reality. Inner creating our own reality. The sword is done. Oh, it's down. I know. You've done awesome work. Yeah, Terry Rhea. She's been working with the activations for quite a while, and has had some. Well, how would you? What would you say about the activations? How's it changed? How's it changed your life? Has it? Have the activations changed your life, Terry? And I know there's a delay with this, so unless she's popped out, but oh, she has a life. Yeah, yeah. No longer victimized and creating your own stuff. Sandy's coming on my. She's joining the next course, which is going to be starting very, very shortly. So I'm very excited to have her in. She's fabulous, and she works with the indigos, crystals, and what I call diamonds. The Syrians that have returned, the children. Oh, yeah, rebirth. Thank you, Terry. How's your mother doing? Not too great today. With what they've done with the solar stuff and the solar piece that's being taken further away from us again, is just another attempt to move us further away from our contact with the sun. The sun is our father. The sun is our divine energy for life. Basically, almost like we were plants. We are energetically rooted with the mother, and we have to be crowned into 5D, and we have to move through the sun, not through false loops and false realities. Anything that has been here before and supposedly working is definitely part of the old cycles. The karmic piece that comes in, from India. There's a lot of beautiful stuff in it, but you look at the stories of the goddesses and their lives are hell. And so stripping the myth has been really difficult. I was able to connect up with Schwaller de Lubic's work, and actually Seth from Jane Robertson, a few other things, which allowed me to do this, but it took me like 25 years of my life. It can be applied to any of the tribal stuff, and I'm talking about European tribal also. It's very much changed some stuff for Terry, and I think we're going to have a big celebration for something that she's creating right now, and it's actually a piece for everyone in our country, and I do believe that it's probably going to be affecting the world. There's some movers and shakers in here already. I'm waiting for a few of them to move over from Natures of Divinity. But anyone who has any questions, I'd love to answer them. And if any of you believe that you're being affected by things from your mother and father and grandmother and grandfather, areas that you don't understand. You are, and there's a way out. And by the way, when we get into the deep sorcery pieces that I cannot give certain things out, because when we go through the activations, there's a structure to it, and it keeps us from moving into danger. The Kundalini is, it's activated with this, and activating the Kundalini without structure, a real strong structure, is very, very important. The AP1 activations are probably somewhere between 9 and 13 years of discipline in any other structure, but it's a period where you can get things rolling in 3 to 6 months and actually change your structure, because this is ancient. You've got ancient history from your ancestors that you'll be able to pull up. You'll be able to work with them for releasing ancestral pain. You don't have to go directly into your own damage. You can go into your ancestral lines or even your culture and pull in energy from what's in the earth codes and what's actually in astral, and strip it out and erase it, and you can move it through you. You can be the broken link, and you can do it, and it's much less painful, and it's faster. There's not really an exact time date start. The basis for the new seminars are done. I'm actually taking enrollment right now, and when I hit my enrollment point, I'm going to roll. So pretty much anytime after the 9th of July, I could be starting it up, and I'm a real stickler for the astrological, so I'm going to find a really good birthday for everybody. The people in the course that are enrolled in the course is going to make a determination on that, because I'm going to make sure it works for everybody, at least for their eclipse charts, if not their basic natal. So this is one of the things that I like to get is an astrological chart out to everyone, and have it flowing. Because if it's not a good time to start something like that, I will tell you. I don't want anybody to come in to experience any type of failure whatsoever in this energetic. Thank you, Terry. Yeah, your stuff is peeled off like crazy. But she's going to be monitoring my first class, because she works with me, and she's going to be assisting. So, and she's halfway across the country from me, and I just adore her. And at some point, these courses, I'll be bringing in other people that'll be able to activate, because this is very, very extremely important during this time. And I love you all. I will be around to do some chatting. And for those of you who are not live here, because I have some people I know in Britain and a few others, I know that that you're going to be looking at this later, so PM me or message me, leave messages, because I'm going to contact. I want to get this settled down calendarically, but it's been really difficult. I'm going to have to do one day, I'm going to come on with live during the day, one in the evening, and then apparently I'm going to be going on in the middle of the night for people in England and Holland and a couple other places. Not everyone's in yet. That'll be moving over, and there's like 120 of you already, and you are all over the place. So I love you. Don't forget, if you want to join to join my other graduates and get rid of some of these problems and have something a bit beyond mastery, be sure to PM me. and absolutely I can get you the same results. I love you all. Never ka. I'm so not good with this technology stuff.